Vampire your mom. You know who's a real vampire? My mom. Woo! Billy can't brain at this point. All his demos. That's all there is. Demos are the only thing that are left. Kali Ravnos. My sire's gone AWOL and I've got no clue why. It sucks, but hey, I'm a raven. When things get dicey, I go with my gut. And right now it's telling me just to keep searching. It hasn't let me down so far and it won't start now, right? Right. Maybe. It sucks. This really sucks. Get it? Okay, character with a cassette player on their belt. A Walkman. Animalism allows kindred to communicate with, control, or feed more effectively on animals.
You fool! You fell victim to one of the classic blunders!
BB Tech, thank you so very much for gifting that sub to Gamelburn. Welcome in. Courtesy of BB Tech. Don't leave any of the love lying around. Make sure you pick it up and take it with you, pretty please. Pretty please. Obfuscate is a power that allows the kindred to hide easily, move without being noticed, and cast illusions. Presence embodies kindred ability to influence its social scene as flawlessly as they do their hunting grounds. I can only put 1 point in. Oh, well. Okay. Well, we'll do this, I guess. Hunger on. Hunter threat on. Okay. Sure. Night 1. The beninging. In the beninging. Yeah, I know what the game is. I launched it. Thank you. D'Angelo's Bureau. If you can even call it that. Feels more like a rough draft of an asteroid belt. Suggesting it's shabby almost gives it too much credit. As if there's some hidden allure with the mess. Which there definitely isn't. His head is cocked thoughtfully. Beady eyes piercing me right through. Does this acute interest stem from the matter I brought in, or does he simply enjoy watching me wriggling in this wretched chair? I'd ask, but underneath the repulsive mask of his face, I had noticed something that looks a lot like fear. A detail I pocket for later. A strong synthetic odor taints the still air. The world is moving forward, but this crap reeks worse than your average smoke. And the way he squashes those mini cigs in the ashtray, it's clear D'Angelo's struggling to shake off old habits. Oh, we're playing our character too, by the way. I forgot about that. We're playing our character. Not that I'm one to throw stones, but he's quite the character, useful but infuriating too at times. Like right now, for example. Holy Jesus! Look, it's Chad. This kind of looks like a guy This kind of looks like a guy I know. This is just a person that everybody knows. I'm pretty sure. Hey, let me just get this straight. You lost your sire, eh? I think we all know a guy that looks like this. Is that a vape pen? Yeah, it's a vape pen. It's blinking, you can see. Patience, Callie. Oh, come on! I didn't lose him, you goof. Oh, what a goof. What a goof D'Angelo is. D'Angelo, you're such a goof. A goof. He just never turned up for our meeting. Just never turned up for our meeting. Easy, Tiger. I'm just trying to get the situation clear here. What's unclear about it? I went to our meeting spot and he wasn't there. That never happens. Rainer Cassell has a knack for vanishing, though. Maybe he had to make himself scarce. Skip town? He'd have left me a clue for sure. You're still relying on the wall tags. That hobo code or whatnot. Little Chandler here has totally been killing it lately. I mean, I might have casually mentioned the code once or twice, but nothing major. Well, all right. Maybe I showed him a symbol. That one's pretty much useless on its own. Ooh, sexy vampires. Yeah, D'Angelo's so... sexy? If Reynard catches wind of me spilling the beans, he's gonna flip. He's like Fort Knox when it comes to our secrets. We do. And I found absolutely zilch, which doesn't happen, by the way. We never bail on each other when we split up for stuff like this. It's just too dangerous. He's something, that's for sure. Yeah. Maybe he didn't have a chance to leave a trail. Where were you two supposed to rendezvous? I should tell him. He doesn't need to know. Why is he snooping around so much? Feels like I'm on trial here. You literally asked me to conduct this investigation. What do you expect me to do? Pull an answer out of my ass? Wouldn't be the first time, D'Angelo. I really don't want to know what he could pull out of his ass, and I intend to tell him as much, but he speaks first. Besides, I already know your spot. Coney Island, right? Feel my eyelid twitch? You're bluffing. I was, but your reaction spilled the whole story. Maybe dropping D'Angelo wasn't such a great plan. Or maybe he's not as useless as I assumed. He's definitely got me on an edge. What's that? We'll just prick our ears. I strain my ears and finally catch a few words. When a damsel in distress entered his dimly lit office, lost in the urban jungle with nowhere to go, she turned into the only person she could trust, Detective Extraordinaire Gianni D'Angelo. But neither of them foresaw the storm brewing, ready to shake their world to its core. All right. I'll skip over your noir wet dreams. What's the deal with the storm? Don't you worry about it. The way he says it really makes me worry about it, but I brush it off. So you make your way to Coney Island, but came up empty-handed. No Cassell, no trail to follow? Anything noteworthy at all? Just your typical shady assholes loitering around. Clearly up to something. Pretty standard for New York City as far as I'm aware. Vampire talking like a Jersey Goomba. His fucking name is D'Angelo. Like, we could fucking go hard, all right? Look, I was just starting to give him a little bit of something. Shady assholes. Who? Kindred? Regular folks, all twitchy and restless. If it wasn't so passé, I bet they were going to pull off a flash mob. A look of confusion flashes across his face. A flash mob? What the hell's a flash mob? Don't worry about it. We stare at each other for a while, I smugly, he utterly perplexed. I savor the moment, waiting for him to break the silence. But when he finally speaks, it's not at all what I was expecting to hear. To be frank, Kelly, I'm running short on answers. Your sire seems just temporarily unavailable, or gone for good, or something else. Can't say I'm entirely shocked. He tries to stroll around nonchalantly, but the mess in this bureau is just as nonchalant. Words. Nonchalantly is twice back-to-back sentences. Impossible! Old man, thank you so very much for the gifted sub. Welcome in, Camdale. Courtesy of Old Man. Don't leave any love line around. Make sure you pick it up and take it with you. He tries to stroll around nonchalantly, but the mess in his bureau is just as nonchalantly throws him off balance. Completely ruins his noir vibe. So I shoot him a cheeky grin, but he's too caught up to even notice. Breaking character must have rattled him good. If I were you, I'd take a leaf out of this book and disappear. Pronto. I'd take a leaf out of his book and disappear. Pronto. In fact, that's exactly what I intend to do once I'm through with my business in the city. I unpocket the fear I observed a moment ago and give D'Angelo another good, lasting look. He's genuinely terrified, like seriously scared. There's this hint of desperation, too. I've got to blame my inner con artist. She's practically salivating in my head, just waiting to join in. But when things go south, D'Angelo's the buddy you stick with, not somebody you ditch and forget. Johnny, seriously, what's up? I'm kind of freaking out here.
There are too many loose ends to stitch together to complete a tale. And frankly, it's too lengthy for just one night anyway. But there's a storm gathering in the city. I've been through some rough patches, but this feels like a whole nother kind of trouble.
Cut the cryptic shit just for once. He looks over my shoulder, lost in thought, like he's figuring out how to drop an anchor on someone who's already drowning.
Our kind has been dropping like flies lately. Nobody seems to be a specific target, but it's hitting mostly Duskborn. The court dubs it the culling of thin bloods, real knee slappers they got in these sons of guns. These sons of guns! These sons of guns! But there's been other victims, too.
A chill runs down my dead spine.
Here's the sad reality. New York City's never been as dangerous for Kindred as it is these nights.
Infighting? Why? The perpetrator? Perpetrator? Any clue who might be behind it?
That's some rad hobo. That's not some fucking rad hobo. That's D'Angelo. He's a vampire hobo. I got a couple of theories. You know what? I'll fill you in while we hit the road.
The urge to flee slams into me like a freight train. There's something about this tone that convinces me to hightail it out of the city. But it's not time to make a break for it. I might stick around for a while, so... D'Angelo's visibly concerned. Should I be worried too?
You're really not gonna let him go, huh?
Of course not. I'll find Renard. Come hell or high water. Besides, someone has to handle detective duty since, judging by how desperately you want me to drive you out of town, damsel in distress is already taken. D'Angelo tilts his head downward just enough to fix his crooked smile. A smile abandoned by joy long ago.
I know you well enough to not even bother trying to change your mind, but you have a knack for diving headfirst into trouble, so hear me out. Keep your head down. Stay off the radar. Don't feed willy-nilly. And above all, don't reveal your true nature unless you're 100% sure nobody can see you.
So the Masquerade, basically.
I'm not joking, Callie. Keep low or else.
Yeah, thanks for the tip. I rise to my feet and wave goodbye as I head out the door. I'll grab you once I found Renard on my own, since you've been such a big help.
Okay.
Takes me a while to actually notice the air around me. It's
crisp and clear without the ever-present stench of D'Angelo's nicotine habit. I find it... He's vaping! I find he's taking me longer each time to catch on. When will I reach the point where I don't notice it anymore? Bernard's silence and the total lack of hints about his whereabouts bug me way more than I'm ready to say out loud. The streets are deserted. It's like everybody vanished, scared off by the winter chill that the mortals seem to hate. The darkness in the night, lit up by bursts of color, is kind of beautiful in a bleak urban way. But my sire's gone, and I don't know what to do. Back at D'Angelo's, I was all talk, swearing that I'd track down Renard myself or burn up trying. Pretty sure he saw through my BS. Were I half as confident as I pretended, I wouldn't feel so utterly lost. In late December, the big fucking dangerous apple of all places. If D'Angelo's warnings have any weight, maybe it's time to bulk up our supplies. Our Cartier, small group of kindred, united by the need for support and sometimes common interests. Let's just say we're big on being ready for anything. Our coterie. Diogenes. Posture. Yeah, that's it. His obsessive preparedness has pulled us out of the fire more than once. Wherever we're running our gigs, we've got these spots stocked up with goods, and let's call it personal protection. One of those caches just lies around the block, if I remember right. It's been ages, but it's probably the first place I should hit up before I go hunting for Renard. Better safe than a grave, right? Okay. Okay. Square one, Coney Island. Precautionary measures. Square one, the RV. Survival's a game we play, or so Renard always told our Kaderi. Our coterie? Our coterie. That's why we stash supply caches all over, with the closest ones near Washington Cemetery. If D'Angelo's warnings hold water, grabbing some supplies might actually come in handy. Yeah, okay. Great, just fucking great. Looking over the wreckage of what used to be my secret stash, I can't stop the flood of swears that could probably rouse Cain himself from his eternal rest. Whoever the hell found it, they completely cleared it out. They didn't even have the courtesy to leave my bad for the raid note. It wasn't a treasure trove or anything, just an old combat knife, a bulletless revolver, and some jewelry. I was planning to pawn off for far less than what they're worth. I get why they'd take that stuff, but seriously, what's anyone gonna do with a cooler full of expired blood bags? Could have been the work of our kin. After what D'Angelo said, it doesn't seem too far-fetched. Fuck! Whoever they are, they better hope I don't find them first. Stepping back into the streets, the harsh reality hits me. The gear is history, and no amount of complaining is going to magically bring it back. Believe me, I tried. Then again, maybe I'm just being paranoid. D'Angelo is a thing for urban legends and slapping conspiracy theories into pretty much anything. Why should this time be any different? It's Christmas after all. Around these parts, looting is practically a holiday tradition. As I'm coming to terms with my situation and thinking about what to do next, I get the weird feeling. It's like my inner alarm system is giving me a nudge, telling me something's off. A quick look behind me confirms it. Yep, I've got followers. And not just one, but two. Finally, I'm hitting my social media milestones. My gut tells me to move faster, and I find myself darting into a barely lit alleyway, disappearing into the shadows. I press myself against the cold bricks and wait. That's when I catch it, a high-pitched voice, filled with endless babble. Her words cut through the air, harsh and acidic. She's talking about me, and it's far from flattering. Squeaker. It was her. That freak draped in all that drab gray. I effing told ya. Drab gray? Who the hell does she think she is? I need to take a look. I need to get a look at him. Girl, we come back empty-handed for the third time, and we're fucking cooked. Fuck her in that cheap-ass forest ranger getup. The nerve to diss my look. Why are they even after me anyway? The one making all the noise, fidgeting nonstop like a squirrel high on candy, muttering something I can't make out, is clearly planning impromptu actions. It's clear planning impromptu actions isn't her strong suit. The other one seems timid, obviously wishing she was anywhere but here.
Unseen passage. Billy, your head blocks the text. Would you move to the left side for this demo? I don't know how much longer I'm going to be playing this game, but I guess. I'm going to scare the shit out of him. No, let's look at this unseen. Yep.
Enough is enough. I'm out of here. When the shadows envelop me, it feels like slipping into another layer of myself, cool and weirdly comforting, whispering ancient mysteries that seem meant just for my ears. It makes me feel invincible, like a stealthy panther lurking unseen in dense undergrowth, gliding silently through the serene, alert darkness. As I walk past both girls, I catch a glimpse of a two-way radio and a revolver. My revolver, tucked under the loudmouth's jacket. She's the embodiment of every mean girl stereotype, but armed and dangerous, mostly to herself. In the end, I leave them both be. They weren't exactly a threat, but damn, it turns out D'Angelo wasn't just blowing smoke up my ass. But none of that alters my goal. Finding Renard remains a top priority. I could go back to the Coney Island and see if he turned up while I was gone. The possibility of berating him for thoughtlessness cracks me up, if only a little. And yeah, I've got to move the RV before it draws too much attention, before some busybody envelops an unwanted interest in it. There's no point in driving it to Coney Island when I can take the subway, so what to do first?
Okay. I think I'm good. Like, this just seems like what the whole game's gonna be. Some occasional dialogue choices, and then just a visual novel that without any VA work. I can, like, try to advance a little bit quickly just to see if anything else happens. Let's take a breather in the darkness. I let go of myself, the meat, veins, bones of my suit, and the wind wrapping around me like the warm hug of a mother welcoming her child home, and I become one with the air. The curious glances of those passing by slip off me as if I was never there. As soon as they vanish into the night, I reappear in plain sight and quickly head towards the Wonder Wheel. Okay. Another character.
I'm afraid you're gonna have to come with me. I was raised better than that. Sorry, no can do, sweetheart. Dad always said not to go off with strangers. Her smile stretches wider, but it's devoid of any real humor or warmth. She's only steps away now, and I'm effectively trapped. Well, this stranger isn't giving you many options, doll. I am Valère Duval, the scourge of New York. The council issued an arrest warrant in your name since they've taken interest in your unusual endeavors. With those recent business meetings, you've left a trail of breadcrumbs too scrumptious not to follow. The fuck? We barely had time to look around New York, let alone meet up with anyone. No, you can either accompany me without a fuss, or, well, let's just leave it at the first option. It's decidedly in your best interest. She gestures to one of the kindred behind me, who brandishes a hefty, sharpened stake. My throat tightens involuntarily. The fuck does the council want with me? Or Kateri's business isn't all that against her precious traditions in it, is it? I'm not without reason, darling. Your move? Thanks for the fake choice. Oh, it's my move, ain't it? Because from my viewpoint, all roads seem to end up at the tip of that stake. Said tip jabs painfully against my back, right where my heart would be beating madly if it wasn't all shriveled up. Case in point. The council will undoubtedly release you, following a meticulous inquiry, of course. This is your final chance. All right, Jesus, I'll fucking go with you.
Valerie tosses me a so-called smile, the sort that could turn the sun to ice. Ice. More like steak in point. Urgh! This doesn't feel like a vampire game. A vampire actually caring about their sire. Insane. No, it's not insane. I mean, this is Vampire the Masquerade stuff. So, like, there's all kinds of different vampires, like, whatever, like groups and ideologies within the world of the Masquerade. So, this isn't surprising to me. What's the best tower defense? The Sunstone one. That one's my favorite. Yeah, Creeper World was fucking stupid loud. Hopefully you didn't open that one without turning... after reading all my warnings. Artisan TD? Gotcha. Alright. Lots of different characters, lots of dialogue. Lots of dialogue. Sunstone. Sunstone something. It's like... I have it marked as a favorite in this spreadsheet. Yoo-hoo! Alright, that's a lot of dialogue. Alright, next demo. It seems like there's a lot of... You know, you've got a lot of characters. If you're into Vampire the Masquerade, it seems like it could be a solid visual novel for you. It's probably going to hold absolutely zero interest for anybody else. So a visual novel based in the Masquerade universe. If you're into that kind of stuff, you'll... Oops. You'll probably enjoy this. Well, I'll say that you might enjoy this. I don't know. 2.